Welcome back to Orgy Story. I promised I'd release the full interview with C.R. Mills of the Dark Spartans, and here it is. If we sound a little too giddy to talk to one another, one, shared interest, and he's a blast. Two, deep in the quarantine, not a lot of social interaction, so we were. They are the Dark Spartans. It's a very fascinating story. Please check them out. We will link their website in the description, but it's eroticselitestudios.net. Erotics with an X. Check them out. Thank you. Please listen to the Gangbang docu episode and enjoy the interviews as we release them this week. Orgy Story listeners, doing an exclusive interview. So excited to get him on the line. I can only describe him as fantastic to chat with and wildly educational on my journey to better understand gangbangs, bukkake, this world, this quest. Master Chief of the Dark Spartans, the Well-Hung Gentlemen's Club, the Endowed Gentlemen's Club, the Amazing Gentlemen's Club, the You Should Google Them Gentlemen's Club. My man, CEO C.R. Mills. C.R., how are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, Chief. How are you, man? You're too gracious, guy. Like, you got me over here fucking crying, bro.
You should be blushing for your work. We're talking about gangbangs, and you're an architect. You're unbelievable.
Crying right now. Got me just so emotional.
You put the work in. You should accept the Oscar. You should be emotional. Choke back a tear. Give it to the people.
No, bro. God, leave it. Look, okay. First of all, I'm too dark-skinned to blush, man. Like, it's impossible to blush and get dark, bro. I'm already there. No, man. I'm grateful for being on the show. I'm grateful for the opportunity. What you're doing, bro. Shedding light on these events, the lifestyle. In a whole, man, like, come on, everybody got to clap, bow, Kevin, man, you're the man. Like,
they can thank us easily. They can Google the Dark Spartans. It's an easy thank you. It's for the fans, the people.
Coronavirus mask on. Okay, we're going to put a coronavirus mask on our face and on our dicks, and then we're going to high five. Okay, we're going to jump up and high five from Colorado Springs to Denver, because that's where I am right now, at my home in Colorado Springs. Sucks down here. No, I'm just joking. It's okay.
No, you're right with it. We're right in that early May range as we're doing this interview. Everyone's just like, oh, fuck this. We're so ready to get outside. And that's part of the fun of part of the fun and the torture, because we're both sexual beings. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to do our thing. This is prime sex season. This is orgy season.
Yeah, like, bro, I don't think I have let my dick get this much hair on it since I went through puberty. Like when it was cool to have.
You heard it here. Everybody's
dick hairs.
Everybody's
right, that's
so
how much,
ready
like,
to see people.
Yeah, I'm just like, no maintenance. I'm no shave. No, that's why like when you were like, yeah, we're gonna do the interview. CR, you're good to go. I'm gonna Skype. We can Skype. And I was like, oh shit, like, what the fuck? I look like a Survivor contestant in the fucking face. Fucking hair looking like...
He's a beautiful man, listeners. Don't even let him.
Jesus.
Don't let him do this. This is how he stays coy.
No, man, I'm serious. I look like one of the Jackson 5 right now with this afro. Like, maybe after the nuclear holocaust, a Fallout contestant. I can't get swifty, bro. And it's just this...
We're all here for it. We're here for it.
Yeah.
Well... I have to steer you towards our topic of the day, because otherwise you and I will get distracted and spend about 41 minutes talking about the Jordan documentary. You are The man.
Fucking crazy. Okay, yeah, go ahead. All right, let's go.
You are the man I want to talk to about hosting gangbangs. I have been doing my research. There's not a lot of people that have been doing it a while. There's not a lot of people that have been doing successfully. There's not a lot of people that can offer kind of the variety that the Dark Spartans offer. And I'm talking as a fan and an enthusiast for research purposes, by the way. I just want to make that known. I mean, if it blended into pleasure. But talk to us a little bit about where this group comes from, how you're able to do this, what your process is. Talk to us about the group, sir.
Okay. Well, the Dark Spartans, well-endowed gentlemen's club, actually didn't start off as that. We started off as a fraternity, a black fraternity, way back in the day. So we're talking 2003 is when we were established. And we just used to have fucking just parties, you know. We would have just like regular parties, and they would always turn out to be orgies.
Is this would girls just know? Would the guys just know? Would everybody just know? What do you mean? How did that happen? Because I love this story. It's an organic, interesting story.
I think a lot of alcohol and ecstasy told us that, hey, you guys are gonna be really horny here soon. Now, you know, it was a party. Parties back in, we're talking 2003 parties. So, you know, college sometimes got out of control, you know.
No, well, okay, but as it starts, it sounds like it starts, and we have the retrospect power of knowing it grows, but people obviously enjoyed it as it started in college, not just.
Okay, so we're talking that, that's the base of the stew, like wild parties with a lot of hung, intelligent gentlemen, you know. And just that whole mixture of things. And this is like the beginning of the Dark Spartans. This is the birth. Start off with just fucking insane parties. That's the best way I can describe them. Van Wilder-like parties. And then they got popular. People started talking about them amongst other fraternities, and female frats started getting in on them, offering up some of their pledges, which was really fun.
Sure. It's difficult not to be intrigued as you explain it. And when you say people started to know, did you all guide it towards a sexual place? Did you have an ability to do this? Was it?
It automatically, it kind of automatically did it. It kind of automatically started. The ladies started like talking, like fraternity females. Okay, there's a fraternity. I almost told on our fifth man. There's a fraternity of hung guys that know how to party, and you know, and you know, they kind of spread the word. So it started kind of getting around, and you know, we knew it, and we didn't deny it. We kind of just started just like, because for us it was more about the hunt and kill. You know, we were young then, so it was like young Spartan loins. Fuck the shit out of these bitches and conquer all the pussy we can. Pillage and plunder. That's what we used to say back then. No, bro. Yeah, that's it. You know, and it kind of preceded us. The ladies kind of put the legend in, and then the light came on with this bachelor party that this very
I was going to ask, because so far it sounds like orgies. So far it kind of sounds like, well, drunkenly in college we would just kind of keep it communal, which is not that.
Okay, but even
right.
within that,
okay.
Even within that, you're talking about hotel takeovers, bro. Marriott takeovers where we took over whole hotel wing, like brought out every um, room in that corridor and literally had security up and literally you can bounce from one room to the next like a pinball with a dick. Just ding, ding, ding. And there
That's
were
the
ladies and
America we
yeah.
were promised. That's it. No, I'm sorry. Go on. You were at a point, and this is midstream. That's fantastic. Okay, so you already notice now.
Oh, shit.
As the CEO, you must notice you have a group that's kind of interested in this, and you must notice now there's becoming a market, which is your skill.
Okay, yeah, and then I saw that back then. So like back then, we like it kind of clicked on when we got offered to do a bachelorette party for a female, and this guy coughed up a lot of money, and she wasn't young, she was hot, mind you, but we were still kind of young, and she wanted at least five. So, it was not a huge party or a huge event. It was more of a consolidated gangbang. And we were like, what? Like, there's like somewhat of a market for this? There's a market for gangbangs, really? And that's kind of how it started. It's kind of how it spent out because looking into it, there actually kind of was a market for quality professional men. It's not just about being hung or having stamina and being a bull, because there's actually a lot of guys that are bulls, and you don't have to have like super fucking big dicks to make a woman squirt across the room. It's about precision and your skill on how you swing your sword. But at the end of the day, it's about chivalry and knowing how to court a lady and make those pennies drop. So,
well, and this gets into my question: how do you build a group that you trust? Because I'll go ahead and skip ahead for some of the listeners. You grow from a group that people kind of recruit you to, and it sounds like you almost accidentally stumbled into this bang territory, into a place where it's like, oh, this is something we can do. And this is a common question we get. How do you start to build a group that you trust you can recreate that type of energy and fun with?
Like with any kind of establishment, it's about setting a tone, setting the language. Our parties, because the central core of the parties is still there, because like the mad scientist that started it all is kind of still there. It's me. So I'm still there kind of tinkering and still fueling these events, and I have a lot of these.
We're going to get to running of the bulls and some of the events coming up for sure in the CEO magic. And that's why you're the source here. It's how do you, because it seems, I was just going to say, it seems a little bit like something you're gifted with. It does seem a little bit like you're able to be like, look, I screen the guys. I can kind of tell through experience and intuition if they're interested in being a part of this group, because you provide multiple types of events. I'm hitting you with like multiple questions on top, but should we talk members or the types of events you create first? I mean, as the expert.
Let's talk members. I'll stay on page a little bit. No, let's talk members. These gentlemen come to us. They come to us through certain channels. Now that we are more public, I wouldn't say that we are totally public, because you still have to go through the ropes of registration. But it's still there, and we've lightened up somewhat on some of the restrictions to become a Dark Spartan. But at the end of the day, it's still there. The protocols, and one of the main protocols that we absolutely demand is annual testing, and that's STD screening. Full panel, man. There's a lot of creepy crawlies out there, and you know, we absolutely have to be conscious of that.
I'll actually give you a shout out here. When I contacted you about interviews, you also kind of assumed I was just contacting about the events. You were like, hey, you need to have been tested in the last 3 months. And so I'll give you like a huge shout out. No, I was impressed. I was like, you're saying yearly testing. That's not what I got. When I reached out to you, you were like, look, if you'd like to come to an event, you need to be tested in the last 90 days. I was like, oh, damn, this guy's on fire.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. I wasn't aware.
You're right, though.
I had to.
It's good instincts.
Understand the nature of the business of what you were calling. No, bro. That's the way it is, and I mean, you know, and it has to be that way. That's one of the things that make the Spartans popular. Is that when we're talking a gangbang experience, a lot of the ladies that enjoy these experiences, they want to experience it. They want it fucking no holds barred. They want to feel raw.
They want no condom.
Dick.
They want a no condom experience.
Yeah. Raw man power dick. Just raw power, raw dick. They want to come and see Buddha flipping pancakes with Darth Vader, man. Like,
and I wish there was a better way to explain it, but this is transcendental. You're right. I mean, there becomes a certain raw requisite, and not everyone feels that way. But a lot of people do feel that way. So it's something, but it is something you accommodate. But I've noticed it's also only something you accommodate with a lot of rules.
I'm going to say the women that we have had the pleasure of pillaging, they wanted it savage. They wanted it. That's the best way I can describe it, bro. Savage. They're dark Spartan women, and you know they come with it. So you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to be impaled by dick in every hole, naturally you have a sexual appetite that is pretty formidable. And we have encountered women that we have banged literally for hours. Like they have cried on the dick, and you know, in the editing, you know, it's like, you know, the husband will go and say, honey, are you okay? And she got fucking tears and slobber and shit fucking pouring out her fucking face like somebody just doused her with a bucket. And she looks at him and pops the dick out of her mouth and goes, oh, honey, I'm fine. I can't believe I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I'm experiencing it. So it's like,
there's the thing here. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
well, and,
okay, yeah.
Because here's some questions for you. I'm going to rapid fire some questions for you. You throw your best gut reaction at it. Sure. What's your guy to girl ratio then? If you're doing like a private bang, where we're not talking film, we're just talking this is a fantasy of a woman being fulfilled by a partner or whatever. What's your guy to girl ratio efforts?
Okay, well, that depends. Because now we have it to where it can be kind of customized. But if we're talking an orgy party, if we're talking a Dark Spartans orgy party, we lay it on thick. So what content are we talking?
I'm talking about, so I know about the Dark Spartans, you throw some parties where you take film, and you throw some parties where you're just entertainment. Let's talk about just a party where you're entertainment. What's the best guy to girl ratio?
Now, because they're so popular, I would say 3 to 1.
Do you feel like there is a number that you can attribute for best guy to girl after your experience, or do you think it's kind of a toss-up?
Um, okay, so because this is the best way to answer that question. The Spartan gangbangs now we can have 50 guys to one girl. I can have at least 50 guys to one girl. Now, all of them won't be Dark Spartan members. All of them won't be Dark Spartan members, yeah.
You're going to have to contract out a little bit.
Yeah, we will really contract out. We kind of just screen guys who will potentially move up the ladder eventually, but they have to kind of come and perform well. We monitor their social interactions and how they move around the party, how they entertain. We have feedback given on them. It's quite interesting, actually. Yeah. But
I was just going to say, this is why you do this, though. I want to point this out. What people should notice is if you're hosting these types of events, the second part of this is an intense amount of scrupulation. You watch the people that you bring in here. Okay.
I wouldn't say scrupulation because even you, bro, just by the vibe, just by how you're vibing, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a large cock. We don't we don't scrutinize on that. We do, however, kind of look towards guys to be somewhat fit, have some chivalry about yourself. Outside of that, of course, be cooties free, STD free.
Yeah. Got to be frequently tested. That's a big part of our theme for orgies in general. If you're going to play in this world, you have to be frequently tested.
And have an education, because the ladies don't like a dumbass. The ladies don't like a dumbass. They just don't. So for Dark Spartan parties, and if you're not a Dark Spartan member, that's how you get in. You got to have education. Pretty much what any private club would ask for, if I'm not mistaken, when you go to the.
Can I ask you some event questions? Because I think you're right. I mean, you're kind of hitting the basic things. Can I ask you what makes a good event? You've been to a ton of these. I don't know if you have a number in your head about how many you've been to. But what makes for a great gangbang experience? Whether you're a group of men gangbanging a woman, trans to straight to trans, men to men, women to men. What makes, in your opinion, a good gangbang?
Okay. To date, the Dark Spartans Club is proud to have hosted 87 gangbangs successfully. With minimal.
Damn, that's a lot. I want to say this to people. That's not a few gangbangs. 87 is arguably as many as anyone's thrown in the United States. Go on.
Yeah, we've been at it, and they've been multiple levels, bro. Like I said, there's not. We count everyone from the 3 to 1, the 2 to 1. Double penetration. We count them all running out of the club, and we've been at it for quite some time. What makes our events successful is the energy. When you come to a Dark Spartan event, you're looking for that intensity, that sexual intensity. You're looking for that rawness. If you've looked at any of the commercials that we put out there for the Dark Spartans and the club events, we kind of try to capture that intensity, that raw sexual intensity and fun. The ability to just come and be the sexual you. And women, when women are in tune and intact with their sexuality, and when they know that this is what they want and what they like you said earlier in the conversation, oh, when we were talking earlier, before we went into recording, um, women want to feel comfortable. Anybody want to feel comfortable being them sexually. You know, if this
Yeah.
this is what they want, provide a space. And that's the best. Again, bro, the biggest push in the forefront of what we do, man, is safety. Being safe with our game bang.
And
And
that
having
mostly
fun.
has to do with the main participant. And that's kind of what you're kind of focused specifically on who's getting gang banged and then the participants.
Yes.
And that's fascinating because can I ask you the flip side? Because you're talking about all the things that make a good gangbang, and I couldn't agree with you more. It's mostly about respect, consent, openness, and you're hitting all those things. What makes a weird gangbang? What makes one where you're like, did that go well? Was that well?
Okay, here go one that makes a weird gangbang. Weird gangbangs. When some of the Spartans have never accidentally touched another dick before. Dick on dick contact. We've had a few of that.
Sure.
I'm going to say this: if you are, one of those guys that would like to inspire to be a Dark Spartan, know this: if your penis is inside of her asshole and his penis is inside of her vagina, you're kind of already rubbing dicks. So it's you can't actually be a Spartan, if you're going to have a
if you're not
complex.
prepared for some accidental contact, if you're not prepared for some brotherly contact,
Bro, it's brotherly love. You know what I'm saying? It's not even brotherly contact. It's brotherly love. You're actually rubbing. There's just a small. If any man that has ever done a DP, have you done a DP, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have to.
We threw a DP party in the first season. That's worth noting. It was a full
You're doing a
thing.
kinky Jedi, bro.
We were like, hey, we should do this. Let's throw a party surrounded around the theme. A lot of yoga involved. But yeah, I'm with you.
You're doing the kinky Jedi. Two lightsabers.
Well,
give each other.
The whole
flash light.
The whole point of all of this is, especially with men, and we do talk about this frequently, men have to be more open to these types of scenarios. Like, you just gotta.
Yeah, absolutely can't be a Spartan. There's lots of women that like to be stuffed. They like their mouths stuffed with cock. They like double vaginal penetration, double anal penetration. We Spartans, we like to cater to that. So you can't be,
Well, can I revisit my question to you? Is there
Sure.
Is there a gangbang that stands out that you were like, this one was perfect?
So many have been good, bro. That come to mind. That only the bad ones kind of stick out because those are the ones that.
Well, that's the next question. So I would like it known for people. If your gangbang is just kind of normal, people are in, but they're not gonna definitely remember it. You're talking about the next category, which is, what's the worst gangbang you've ever seen? Because the worst orgy I've ever been a part of is well documented. I left without playing. I couldn't enjoy it. Have you been a part of what's your worst gangbang?
Okay, and I'm going to get really, really graphic, okay? And you asked, okay?
I asked the question. I did for people's viewership.
Okay, so all right, wherein that is a rule for guys. Hey, don't get weirded out by situations or whatever. for females, we definitely have to say enema.
Okay.
Enema. You can't, like 12 and 14 inches. That's like in your small intestines, I think. One of them fucking intestines is just laying there. So you can't, have that and expect for dinner to stay in your belly. It's like,
Yeah.
So one of the worst situations, one of the worst ones was where a female did not clean herself.
Yep.
And, she just laid like a whole sub sandwich on this guy's lap. Like,
yep. So this is a fun, you are right to bring this up because this is the second time this conversation has come up. It's like, look, if you're going to do gangbangs, it turns out eating is not a great idea anywhere near the event. And it's a funny aspect that it has come up now twice, but I'm so excited it has because that's 100% what I got when I was on the inside. It's like, look, you have to be very careful about what you're consuming. There's a focus and intensity. And this is a compliment to Ray Ray. She taught me this. She was like, you can't eat a sub sandwich before you get gangbanged. It was like, I have so much to learn. I have so much to learn about this topic.
You can't. It gets really, really messy and very gross. And, it literally will stop the play and literally just ruin the whole kind of atmosphere, especially when you like build it up, build the intensity, and it's actually there. And then it's like the record player gets slapped off. It's like, scratching when something like that happens. And believe it or not, it happens a lot more.
I do believe it.
At some of our events, where people don't read the small print of the invite. It's like, if you enjoy anal, please clean yourself with a water hose.
Well, Master Chief, I have to ask you 1 to 2 to 6 more questions. I'm trying to figure
All right,
out
I'm ready, bro. Let's go.
No. You famously, so how big a fantasy do you believe this is? You and I have talked a little bit in the background. I've been famously quoting the 1/3 of you porn participants wanted to see gangbang porn. How big a fantasy do you believe this is amongst the communities that exist and want this?
Huge.
Huge as in like 70% of the population?
Yeah, that's actually a fair and safe assessment, bro. I would say 70. I would say between 70 and 75% of the lifestyle population. Now, are we talking like human population?
Now you've really hit on a question I love. This is why he's so fun to chat with. So I actually think, you know what? I'm going to double down. I'm sticking with 70%. I think you and I are, despite our craziness, not as abstract as one would think. Yeah. I think it's genuinely 70 to 80% of the actual population dreams about this.
I would say at least, I would give it 65 to 70. I would say fairly, if we're talking all the women in the world, because I've encountered a lot of my kinky just girlfriends in a whole that, a lot of them don't like it.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit about my male friends also, but people are also
we're talking.
People are going to get a nice glimpse into my bi-ness versus your straightness.
Oh, we're talking males too? We're talking males and females?
See, to me, it's, yeah.
Oh, fuck no, that's safe. You're good.
Oh,
Safe.
see? There we
No,
go.
safe. Yeah, no, that's safe. That's safe.
It's
No, that's
everybody.
safe. I'm on.
It's everybody,
Yeah,
right?
that's good. No, that's a good percentage. I would say that. I would say 70%. Especially guys, man. Like
Guys
dudes,
don't
like
have a
dude, if
filter
you
about
walk
this.
by, like, have you ever been to an arcade? Of course, like a sex arcade. Like,
Oh yeah, and frankly, that's you're striking a little bit about what got me turned on to this. So obviously, I'm a part of the orgy community, but I hadn't been a part of any specific community like this or like the Dark Spartans, which I think is exactly what you're looking for when you're talking about how do I plan this, how do I get this type of fantasy fulfilled. I think after empirical research, your easiest route is a group that's already a little bit more substantiated. And that's one of the things CR and I have been talking about is it has to be a group that you can kind of vouch for because there's always somebody who's in charge of vouching for this group of people. But it's a group of people. And this is a specific sex act, but this sex act is very popular.
it is now. It is now, especially with the growing acceptance of sexuality in a whole, and people exploring and having healthy explorations in their sexuality in a whole. There's a lot of husbands waking up to the reality that, hey, they like dick. You know, they like dick just as much as their wife, you know, and together they like dick together. So like we're actually experiencing a huge boom in the cuckold community. And we love them. We love you guys all of you.
You're
We
just
do.
my
Like, we love our fans.
you're just my
We
favorite.
love them.
You have an ability. Well, I want to turn it to you. So I've kept you past my amount of time, and we're definitely gonna talk to CR again. And frankly, anyone who's Master Chief of the Dark Spartans deserves multiple segments on this show, and we admit that. But I want to throw it to you. You're welcome to hit us with some last comments, some things before we wrap.
First of all, thank you for having me on this incredible show, and thank you for what you're doing, bro. You're putting the spotlight on us, but we have to shed that light on you as well, bro. We wouldn't be having this conversation if you didn't have the outlet of positive sexual exploration, here, with this podcast. So again, bro, we're going to put the coronavirus mask on the dick and on the face. We're going to go outside right now. I'm in Colorado Springs. You're in Denver right now.
Yep.
And yeah, we're so awesome that we're gonna fucking jump up in the sky and high five because you and I are the pioneers of the new sexual freedom revolution, and it feels good to know that there is an outlet like this out there that you guys are doing, that people can go like us, with the freaks, with the freakazoids of the community, misfits. So this is awesome, bro. High five. That's what I want to say at the end of my podcast. That's what I wanted to give. That's it.
You're too kind. Master Chief of the Dark Spartans, we will talk again, but you need to go check them out. You need to go visit their content and dream of the possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
We'll be releasing the full Ray Ray interview in just a few short days. Tune in. Thank you.